testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Welcome to the 1947 Beechcraft Bonanza 3190 Victor. We're ferrying this aircraft today from the Phoenix area, Falcon Field, up to Placerville. Mark Pilkington, the broker up there at Skywagons.com. This is the first year model of Beechcraft Bonanza, but with a whole bunch of updates. Let me show you around a little bit. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now?
Good morning, Albuquerque, Skies 3126. I will
turn these guys down.
300, sending 2 knots, cross 10 at 290 and 300.
Look at this, a functioning autopilot. Never had that before in an old Bonanza. The autopilot's on, he's reading novels in the John. The ferry pilot's life is just a farce.
252 Alpha Golf, you got the frequency in air. Contact Albuquerque Center on 135.2.
1949 Bonanza, the old E225-11 model, ferrying this from Falcon Field near Phoenix, Arizona, back to the broker, Mark Pilkington, at Skywagons.com up in Placerville.
Albuquerque Center, Delta 1501, 317 for 290.
A sweet, flying, smooth running old Bonanza. Very well equipped with this late model panel that cures a lot of the problems with the early model Bonanzas. E225-11, 225 horse on takeoff for 1 minute, then derate it down, bring it back down the RPM to 185 horse continuous. We're tooting along here today at
Albuquerque South, 2085, leave you at 290.
8,500 feet, 165 miles an hour, about 2,300 RPM, 20 inches, that's wide open throttle at 8,500 feet with an electric Beechcraft propeller. We'll talk more about that in a minute.
3013, and you're cleared direct to Bruiser.
All right, it's going to be the Bruiser.
We got ForeFlight working for traffic. We got our Sentry Stratus ADSB in. We got ADSB outgoing. We got flight following. We got the fuel system sorted out. We'll make a fuel stop at Porterville area. This early model Bonanza has 3 fuel tanks in it, the 2 main tanks in the wings, 20 gallons each, 17 and a half or 17 or so usable, plus a 20-gallon ox tank in the baggage compartment. That gives you a reasonable amount of range in these early model Bonanzas. But you still got to keep track of the fuel system. The neat thing about this model of Bonanza, besides that autopilot, late model autopilot that works, is that it's been upgraded with a late model Bonanza panel. So now you have a traditional classic 6-pack of instruments right here. And of course your new HSI for your autopilot, which is coupled right there. And for your fuel system, this cures a lot of problems with the early model Bonanzas. The early model Bonanzas, as you remember from my 1952 model, C model, it had a series of very slick-looking keyboards, or a keyboard on the bottom for all your switches. And they all looked identical, the same, including the landing gear switch. They also had the old style instrument panel, which is kind of scattered about a bit, and an old style series of engine instruments that were hard to maintain, and a fuel system that was a little ergonomically difficult to work with. You still got to pay attention to this fuel system here. So, on this fuel system, you got those 3 tanks I talked about, a left main, a right main, an aux tank. You've got a PS5C carburetor, which over pressurizes the fuel burn at a rate of about 3 gallons per hour. It returns that 3 gallons per hour to the left main wing tank. So you got to take off and land on the left main wing tank. Burn that left main wing tank down a half an hour or 45 minutes, and then start working your other tanks. Right now I'm on the aux tank.
14-7 Albuquerque Center, Roger.
So you got 2 fuel gauges. There's the main tank, it's down about a half. There's the right main tank, it's still full. And there's the aux tank at full. You've got the 3 fuel select, or the 4 positions here: left main, right main, aux tank, and off. And I verified the off position looking for the aux tank. Aux tank is forward on this aircraft. That is also a wobble pump that allows you to prime the engine, and this aircraft also has a backup electric fuel pump as well. And it's got a proper manifold pressure gauge and fuel flow gauge on board the aircraft. So these are all add-on instruments, and it's got a proper late model Beechcraft engine instrument, oil pressure, cylinder head, and oil temperature right there, ammeter. Now this aircraft used to have tip tanks, but the tip tanks have been removed. And so it had a 3rd fuel gauge and left and right for the tip tanks and transfer pumps for those tip tanks. But those tip tanks have been removed. And so that would give you an extreme amount of range if you had the tip tanks as well. And some old Bonanzas still do. So 2 for 60 gallons of fuel, probably 56 or so gallons usable, but we're still going to stop after about 3 hours and take a break. Smooth day for flying. Here in the Great Desert Southwest, get out here early in the morning. We got a nice break in between weather storms out here. And we got favorable winds today. Maybe basically calm winds up here at 8,500 feet. Still making about 166 miles an hour, close to 170. This Bonanza also has a neat mirror out there for the landing gear to help you with your landing gear indications. That's another point I want to make. Here's, you got a late model proper landing gear switch here instead of the old keyboard switch with up and down indicators, and then another up and down. Oh, looks like that one's not working. There, but if you look at the mirror, you can see your nose gear is up. All right, we're just crossing Lake Havasu now. A couple things about, we're on with LA Center now, still level 8,500 and a smooth ride, 164 miles an hour. A couple things about this Beech electric propeller on this aircraft. First off, the Beech electric propeller is a great prop. It's super smooth around an engine and airplane. There's no ADs on that propeller, no airworthiness directives. It's a longer diameter propeller, a larger diameter propeller. It makes it a very efficient propeller for the Bonanza. But it's not a constant speed propeller. It is a variable pitch propeller in this particular installation. Some Beech electric props have a solid state controller that makes that electric propeller a constant speed propeller. This one does not have the controller. It only has this manual switch right here to increase and decrease RPM.
Over Baker, California.
So we're right now set up at 2,200 RPM. I'm going wide open throttle, well, a little bit less than wide open throttle, 20 inches of manifold pressure, and 2,300 RPM. So, since it's a variable pitch propeller, if you climb, by the way, the autopilot's still working great here. Fantastic autopilot. As you climb the aircraft, just like a fixed pitch propeller, the RPM will...
LA Center on guard. Contact LA Center 134.65. Acknowledge down.
That ain't for us, is it? Will go down. If you lower the nose of the aircraft and pick up speed, the RPM will pick up. So,
Number 8104 Mike, LA Center on guard.
if you want to, no, that's not for us.
230, back
So, if you want to keep that RPM constant, you're going to have to fiddle with the propeller. Basically, on takeoff, you get it full RPM, you run that propeller all the way to high RPM, get your 225 horsepower for takeoff for 1 minute, and then bring that propeller back to about 2300 RPM after 1 minute and climb out on 185 horsepower. This thing cruise climbs real good at that power setting. The Beechcraft electric adjustable propeller. A very smooth and efficient running machine. I mean, just look at that. Look how smooth that thing is. There's Lake Havasu now.
8104 Mike, see the turn.
Continuing on to Porterville. About a 3-hour run to Porterville. Still burning off the aft tank. We'll be burning off that aft tank for an hour and a half. Overhead Porterville. Take a look at the windsock. Find out where the fuel service is. Porterville traffic. Bonanza 3190 Victor's overhead for the left downwind entry 30 Porterville. Nobody's in the pattern. Double check it's a left pattern for 30. Like a left crosswind, about 6 knots. The fuel concession right there. Alright, let's slow this thing way down for the gear down speed. Get the prop up. All the way up. Trim, trim, trim. Fuel is on the left tank. Left tank is 3/4 full. Nine zero Victor left crosswind 30 Porterville. There's 100. Here comes the gear. Power's coming back up. It looks like a nose gear and a main gear on the mirror, and a green light, and a nose gear indication. Yep. Bueno. The gear works on 90 Victor. Birds. 90 Victor left downwind 30 Porterville. Prop is all the way in. Come to the flap speed, and we'll get the flaps here. And start slowing to 80. Flaps are tracking. Trim, trim, trim. Gas, left tank, undercarriage, down, mixture, rich, prop, set, Flaps are down. Bonanza 90 Victor, left base 30 Porterville. Look at that.
Southwest 25 over the midfield.
Overshooting.
600.
Left crosswind. Gear is still down and looking good. Gear is down. And the gear held. Bring her down easy. Okay, clear the runway. One thing I should do is when you lower the gear, stay on that gear until you get the green light with your hand so you don't get distracted. Okay, stopped. These are the flaps. They're coming up. Tail flaps are open. Go get some gas. Lean out next on the ground. Go get some gas. Porterville. Next stop, Placerville.
Taylorcraft BC-12D, cover, assemble, and fly by spring.
Alright, roundup checks are complete. Cigars checks are done. Pattern is clear. Taking off 30 straight out Porterville. We got the fuel is on the left tank, and left tanks are full, right tanks are full. Left tank. Final's clear. Burn with failure, just go out straight ahead. Plenty of flat orchards out ahead of us. Mags are both, mixture's rich, prop is set, cow flaps open, prop is up. That nose gear, get some full right boot to it. There we go. Fuel flow is good. RP RPM is good. Tap on the brakes. And gear is coming up. Bring her down to 25 inches. Gear is tracking up, and we got an up indication. 2650, let's bring her down. There she goes, trim, trim, trim. Just a toggle switch, an electric toggle switch on the prop. No constant speed, just adjustable pitch. Let's take it on up to an appropriate atmospheric altitude. Go to Placerville. Temperatures and pressures are looking good.
Go around the country,
4554.
and it seems
Look at
to
even
be
the
same
ADF works.
results, that there is a
Here's the Tom
roughly
Sullivan
half
program on
that are
AM
saying,
1530.
No, not going to. I don't know if that's going to be the case after the numbers start coming down and people start going, I guess it works. But
VOR works as well.
for questioning it, Barry.
90 Victor's extended left downwind 23 Placerville. A little high on the downwind, she's departing the pattern to the east.
Placerville traffic, Air Tech 460 is going to be departing on 23 straight out, Placerville.
Somebody else departing on 23. Gear down speed. Watching the gear in the mirror. Looking good. Keep that hand on there, and we got a green light and a nose gear. Power and trim. Gas is on the right tank this time. Right tank's more than half full. We'll just leave it there. That's the OV10. Huh. Flap speed. Here come the flaps. Trim. Prop. Wham. An old Chevy. Victor, left base 23 Placerville, full stop. Gear is down. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, and prop. Gear is down. Prop is up. Trim, trim, trim. Gear is still down. A little bit of a headwind here. Bang that nose gear. Center line, Brownie.